this is Pistol Packing Diana from Red Nation Rising, Oklahoma, and you're listening to Red Nation Rising Radio.
All writers are prone to becoming so attached to our characters and stories that we struggle to see why a passage may not be working. It takes another set of eyes to help us nurture our writing to full maturity. At Black Wolf Editorial Services, we strive to enable writers to develop and grow, shaping stories into masterpieces that can stand the test of time. Editing services are provided for all genres and all age categories. Services range from critiques of the short story through to line edits of the full-length novel and copy editing for those preparing for publication. We also offer assistance on generating a writer's bio for your websites, as well as help with those book blurbs and promotional material. We won't abandon you to the masses. We want to celebrate with you in your successes. Black Wolf Editorial Services, nurturing your writing into maturity. For a full list of services and prices, visit us at blackwolfeditorial.com.
Individuals and businesses with tax problems, listen carefully. Do you feel like you're losing control over your finances? If you owe over $10,000 in back taxes or have unfiled tax returns, we can help you take back control. The IRS is the largest and most aggressive collection agency in the world, and they can seize your bank account, garnish your paycheck, close your business, and file criminal charges. Take control of your tax problems now by calling the experts at Tax Mediation Services and take advantage of the Fresh Start program and new laws that may allow us to negotiate a settlement for the lowest amount possible. Our team of tax attorneys and enrolled agents can stop collections and get you protected so you can take control of your financial future. Tax Mediation Services is accredited by the Better Business Bureau. Call now for a free case review and a price protection guaranteed quote.
Call Tax Mediation Services now at 800-610-9050. That's 800-610-9050. 800-610-9050.
This is Slickery Trigger for Rebel Road Tactical. With proper care and feeding, your pistol will be ready when you need it, there to save your life. Shouldn't your gear be that good? Whether you need a holster for comfortable everyday carry or a tough-as-nails holster for your next training course, Rebel Road Tactical has what you need. Check us out on the web at rebelroadtactical.com.
Tired of paying outrageous prices for Viagra? Well, we have great news for you. Now you can finally get Viagra at huge discounts. Healthy Man allows you to save up to $500 on Viagra. Why pay U.S. pharmacy prices of $15 per pill or more when you can get Viagra for less than $3 a pill? Call today and get 40 Viagra pills for only $99. This can cost as much as $600 at your local pharmacy. You can't afford not to call us. If you want Viagra at the lowest prices, never pay $15 a pill pharmacy prices again. Get Viagra for less than $3 a pill. Call 1-800-516-7602 today and save up to $500 and get 40 pills for just $99. Healthy Man is fast, easy, and affordable. Operators are waiting at 1-800-516-7602 to take your call right now. Call 1-800-516-7602. That's 1-800-516-7602. Again, 1-800-516-7602.
Hi, this is Pistol Packing Diana from Red Nation Rising, Oklahoma, and you're listening to Red Nation Rising Radio.
Frustration is mounting and anger is growing with the liberals and passive politicians. Learn the playbook of those who are trying to destroy our country. From the blue-collar professor, he teaches, he leads, he speaks out for truth and justice. Now, the educator of all things conservative, your host, Dr. Gavin Mitchell.
Well, Carlos Danger is back. The jokes we could have, the jokes we have had about a politician with the last name Wiener involved in so many sex scandals. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the program. I am Gavin Mitchell. So glad you found us. Now, there are a lot of jokes that could be had. And a lot of them aren't told because we have FCC rules. But the list goes on and on and on. But there is a serious side to this whole Anthony Weiner sexting situation that I would like to take that approach today as as we get into everything that is. Now, if you do not know who or what I am talking about, there was a congressman, a member of the House of Representatives from the great state of New York, who got caught up in a sexting scandal. And for those of you who might not be of the millennial generation, to sext that's a compound word with obviously sex and text. And you combine the two and you get sext. And it's sexting when you get on your phone, mobile device, whatever it is, and you say things that might be provocative, crude, borderline legal, illegal, whatever you want to call it. But that's what it is. And so our man Anthony Weiner, who was this congressman, got found out. He got outed that he was doing this sexting thing while he was in the House of Representatives. So he was forced to resign in great shame. Then he decided he was going to revamp his political career a few years later. And in the middle of that campaign, they found out he was at it again. And this time he swore he was going to get help. He swore he was going to rehab. And maybe he did. I don't know. I don't follow Anthony Weiner everywhere he goes. I don't know the guy. I don't care to know the guy. He's a Democrat. Forget everything else. He's a Democrat. Unlike the great Matt Locke, my tolerance doesn't run deep enough. My patience doesn't run deep enough to hang out with liberals. I just can't do it. Matt is a much more patient guy than I am. But at this point, it stops kind of being funny, doesn't it? Well, here we are, and there's an important caveat to this because Weiner is married to Uma Abedin, who is Hillary Clinton's right-hand person. She is Clinton's top aide. She was there with the Clinton Foundation. She was there as she was Secretary of State. She is the go-to person for Hillary Clinton, and she's there for the presidential campaign. Well, as Ms. Abedin is out and about, by the way, a devout Muslim, is out and about on the campaign trail, Weiner goes back to sexting. And they have this term called catfishing, which is where somebody on the other end of the internet or the other end of the text line pretends to be somebody they're not. And this Republican advocate pretended to be a 40-year-old woman, give or take a couple years. Nothing illegal, mind you. And got Anthony Weiner to take a picture of him in his bed in only his briefs with an erection. And next to Anthony Weiner, as he does this at full attention, is their very young son in the same bed. That is it. Now, Carlos Danger, after he got caught the first time, he decided he was going to go online under an alias, Carlos Danger. And he got caught. He got had. And so that's why I say Carlos Danger is back. And so there we have it. All the jokes of a man with the last name Weiner getting caught in an internet sex scandal of some sort, the jokes are endless. But let's take a serious approach about this. Let's take a serious approach about Anthony Weiner himself. And then let's talk about the marriage and everything that surrounds that. With Anthony Weiner, when you're involved in something that's unhealthy, and I don't care if it's of sexual nature, I don't care if it's alcohol, I don't care if it's drugs, gambling, whatever. It can be any vice known to man. But when that vice costs you your career, you've got a problem. You've got a problem you have to address. I once had a very good friend who had a very prominent job. We have lost touch here of late. But he had a very prominent job. It was his dream job, and he was one of the best in the world at it. And he had a problem with alcohol. And he almost drank his way right out of his job. And that's what woke him up. And we were having a discussion. It was late one night. I mean, 2, 3, 4 o'clock in the morning at a retreat, at a Bible retreat. And I was trying to understand addiction. I was trying to wrap my head around it. Because in my world, you should just be able to say no and walk away, but it's not that simple. Because for an addict, yes, they are absolutely responsible for that initial decision. And many decisions after that. To have that first drink, to make that first bet, to look at the first pornography site, to snort the first line of cocaine, again, whatever the vice is, to pick up the first woman at the bar. Yes, they make that decision. And they make a couple more after that, but before too long, they begin to crave it. And the way I understood what my buddy was telling me is it gets to where you don't want to. Your mind is telling you, I don't want that drink. I don't, the consequences and the risk is too high. I have too much to lose. I don't want that drink. And even if a drink isn't anywhere available, for instance, if you're at home and you've cleared your house of alcohol, the urge to go to the local bar or the local store and buy a bottle or a 12-pack is so strong that you can't shake it, that it just consumes you. And the more you fight it, the more it grows. He described it a lot like a boa constrictor. The more you fight, the tighter it gets until it is unmanageable, until it consumes you. And so to free yourself from this internal struggle, you say, all right, I'll have one. And then it starts all over again. And so you have 2, and then 2 turns to 20, and you're out of control again. That's addiction. It's very real. It's very serious. Now, when an addiction costs you your career, you have got to lay down your ego and lay down your pride, and you have got to go get help. It can be beat. It has been beat. It may not always be as easy for you once you succumb as it is for someone who's never experienced it, but you can win that battle. People do it every day, but you've got to learn how. You've got to get the tools and implement the tools. Anthony Weiner needs those tools because now, after it's cost him his career, how he got his wife to stick with him through all of that is beyond me. I do not like Uma Abedin. I do not believe that Islam is the way. I don't like her. I don't like her ways. I think she's as crooked as Hillary. I think she's pulling a lot of the levers. Not a fan. But just because I don't like her and what she's about doesn't mean I can't admire the fact that she stood by her husband. And she credits Islam for a lot of that, which is a bunch of garbage, but that's an aside. But apparently this last one, with their young son in the bed, and I don't know if the son had anything to do with it or not, that was the straw that broke the camel's back, because apparently they had been estranged for about a year, and now she's making it public that they are separating. That when she came back in off the road, she would stay at the apartment that the couple had with their son. But now she's out. She's out of there. So now this addiction has cost Anthony Weiner his career and his family. And as funny as it may be that a guy with a name that is just so easily played upon in this situation, and again, the jokes are many, this is real. And Democrat, Republican, liberal, conservative, New York, Texas, Chicago, LA, none of that matters. This is a human being. It is a father. And he's got a problem. He needs to deal with it. Now, what those tools are to deal with it, I don't know. But there are people that do know. And he has access to them. He just has to lay down his ego and admit he has a problem. And I'm telling you that again, while the initial decisions were his, past that, he's a victim here. He's a victim. And this type of stuff is why I have long advocated that pornography should be illegal, because it grabs a hold of people the same way drugs do, the same way alcoholism does, the same way gambling does. And Anthony Weiner got caught up in it. Now, as far as the marriage goes, you tell me. I'm just going to throw some facts out there. Here is a guy who has obviously come to know a woman intimately enough, and I'm not talking about physically, I'm just intimately enough that they were married and have been married for some time. Aberdeen knows the inner workings of the Clinton Crime Foundation. She knows the inner workings of everything Hillary Clinton does. This is her right-hand man, woman, whatever. This is her go-to person. This is her most trusted aide. How much of that do you reckon she shared with Anthony Weiner? I bet it's an extraordinary amount. It may not be everything, but I bet it's a lot. Now we have Weiner out on the streets with all of this knowledge, all of this information of how the Clintons work. What happens to people who potentially, inevitably, become a threat to the Clintons? Well, history tells us they die. They die mysteriously. Matt Locke made the bold claim on this week's Conservative Cartel that Anthony Weiner is the next mysterious death that has ties to the Clinton Foundation. I think that's a very real possibility. And I'm not a conspiracy theorist, not even close. I don't think that they really bump. At least I hope they don't. But my gosh, the evidence is piling up, isn't it? It's enough to make you stop and think, maybe? There's a lot of coincidences strung together here. Maybe. Or the second option, the second possibility, is that, as my Skype goes off, I apologize there, the Clintons pay Weiner off to disappear, to stay quiet. They have enough issues of their own to try to overcome to either win or steal this presidential election. They don't need Anthony Weiner out there trying to regain traction, regain equity by selling the Clintons out. Now, I think that's highly unlikely that Weiner would do that, because here is a guy who is disgraced in the public eye, and we're very forgiving of politicians. Very forgiving. There's not much they can do short of getting beaten in an election that will make us forget about them. They're there. We're just, it's unbelievable how forgiving our society is when it comes to politicians, athletes, and rock stars. But I doubt Weiner would try to revive his career with that information. It's too high stakes, because he is a Democrat. I think he's as afraid of Donald Trump as all the rest of them are. And to come out and do that would inevitably hurt Hillary Clinton, if not ultimately cost her the election, when you couple it with everything else. And so the logic there, if those are the only two options on the table, Anthony Weiner's a dead man. I'm glad they're not the only two options on the table. There is another option, right? That the two claim they're working things out. They figure out how to get along. You know, Aberdeen strings it out. Of course, Weiner's sorry. He wants her back. He begs for this, that, and the other. Call it an arranged marriage. I don't care. Call it what you want. But if Weiner truly is sorry and he's trying to make things right, Aberdeen can string this out for a while. Get through the election, and then make him go away one way or the other. But what they're not going to do is they are not going to go through a divorce before the election. Aberdeen will not file for divorce before the election. Because when it comes to a divorce proceeding, all the information swapped by parties, all the information you have to turn over, everything they tell the attorney and the attorney wants to bring up and question the other side, it becomes public record. And Aberdeen and the Clintons cannot take that chance that any of that information gets out. Now, Donald Trump comes out and uses this situation to point a finger at Hillary Clinton and says, oh, well, look at her judgment. You know, she leans on somebody who married this guy, and this is what he's doing. This has nothing to do with Hillary Clinton, Anthony Weiner's addiction. And that's what it is at this point. When something costs you that much, it is an addiction. How can she possibly police that? You can't. There's no way to know, because this is one of those things that Anthony Weiner did in his private home, in his private room, where no one else was watching unless you were on the other side of the email he sent or the text he sent or whatever. You can't tack this to Hillary Clinton. There's just, that's ludicrous. And you can say, well, yeah, but it's people's judgment that's in question, and she trusts their judgment, so she's a bad judge of character. Give me a break, man. We all have skeletons in our closet that we don't tell anybody. You know, when I was 8 years old, I broke a window. I didn't tell anybody. I have now. But you know what I mean? We all have skeletons in our closet, and the moral snobs out there will say, well, mine's not as bad as yours. That one's worse than this one. Give me a break. Hillary Clinton can't possibly be held liable for what the husband of an aide does. That's ludicrous. And so while I appreciate Donald Trump's effort to go after Hillary Clinton, and he should, he swung and missed on that one. That's just my opinion on that. He swung and missed. So we talked a little bit about stealing the election and how that goes down. And that seems to be one of the really only possibilities that are in front of us for the Democrats to win, is to flat out steal the election. Well, that may not be an option anymore. Let's talk about it next.
The Gavin Mitchell Show.
It's summertime again, ladies. Time to break out those sandals and give your toenails a little TLC. The nail technicians at Friendly Nails in Cleburne, Texas are ready to provide you with professional and friendly service. From manicures to pedicures and a variety of specialized services such as acrylic nails, facials, and waxing. Custom designs and a variety of stones to accent your nails are also available. The technicians at Friendly Nails are all licensed and trained in the latest technology and have experience applying every kind of polish on the market. So stop by and be treated like royalty. Relax in their massage chairs and unwind. Full body massage therapy is also available by appointment only. For all you guys wanting to give your special lady a little treat, $50 gift certificates are available now for $40, and anyone who mentions hearing about Friendly Nails on the Gavin Mitchell Show or KLIF will get $10 off any $50 purchase. Friendly Nails is open 7 days a week, Monday through Saturday from 10 a.m. to 7 p.m. and Sundays from 12 p.m. to 5 p.m. Located at 180 North Ridgeway Drive in Cleburne, Texas. Call them at 817-641-3400. Walk-ins are welcome.
Tired of paying outrageous prices for Viagra? Well, we have great news for you. Now you can finally get Viagra at huge discounts. Healthy Man allows you to save up to $500 on Viagra. Why pay U.S. pharmacy prices of $15 per pill or more when you can get Viagra for less than $3 a pill? Call today and get 40 Viagra pills for only $99. This can cost as much as $600 at your local pharmacy. You can't afford not to call us. If you want Viagra at the lowest prices, never pay $15 a pill pharmacy prices again. Get Viagra for less than $3 a pill. Call 1-800-525-8479 today and save up to $500 and get 40 pills for just $99. Healthy Man is fast, easy, and affordable. Operators are waiting at 1-800-525-8479 to take your call now. Call 1-800-525-8479. That's 1-800-525-8479. Again, 1-800-525-8479.
Do you need residential or commercial roof repairs, maintenance, or replacement in the Dallas-Fort Worth area? J-Bow Roofing has over 35 years of experience in the industry, and they have the know-how to keep you dry and comfortable. J-Bow Roofing also offers a roofing system that is warranted against hail of any size, and this is a no-excuse warranty. J-Bow Roofing doesn't want their customers to cringe every time it hails. They want customers to have complete confidence that their roofing system is going to stand up to the task. Basically, J-Bow Roofing wants to stop the insanity, lifetime lifetime roofing period. Re-roof once and be done. A J-Bow roof product is aesthetically pleasing and tougher than anything you can find. A J-Bow roof is so nice your neighbors will want it. J-Bow lifetime roofing systems are strong as steel, tougher than hail, and guaranteed. So it'll be the last roof you put on your house. Looking for a price? Get a no-cost, no-obligation quote today at jabeau.com. That's jabeau.com. J-Bow Roofing. Your long-term satisfaction is their immediate goal.
Twisted Roads Trading Post in Crowley, Texas is your premier biker apparel, leather, and accessories store. Stop in and visit with brothers Ron and Carl Phillips. Twisted Roads Trading Post carries leather jackets, chaps, vests, accessories, gifts, and more. Open 6 days a week, Tuesday through Thursday, 1 p.m. to 6 p.m., Fridays and Saturdays, 9 a.m. to 6 p.m., and on Sundays, 12 p.m. to 5 p.m. Got a motorcycle or trike to sell? Their park and sell lot is now available and anxious to show off your ride. Visit us for sewing, embroidery, and t-shirt printing services. Airbrush services by our friends at Kingdom Custom Creations are also available throughout the week. Call today or visit twistedroadstradingpost.com or find and like them on Facebook. Located west of Crowley on FM 1187, then south on FM 1902. Go 1.3 miles and look for the flags. 817-768-8761. That's 817-768-8761. Twisted Roads Trading Post. If the flags are flying, we're open.
Let's get back to the program. If you're sick of the garbage that comes out of Washington, D.C., then it's time to arm yourself with knowledge from the Blue Collar Professor. Here's your host, Dr. Gavin Mitchell.
If you are looking to connect with the program, you can find us on the World Wide Web, thegavinmitchellshow.com. You can find us on Twitter at The GM Show, and you are welcome to email me anytime, Gavin at thegavinmitchellshow.com. So the Democrats have got to be furious. And when Texas passed their voter ID law and it was challenged by the left, if you're a free thinker and you just sit here and think for yourself, why in the world would anybody challenge a voter ID law? It seems pretty self-explanatory as to why it's necessary. You don't want people running around casting votes that aren't allowed to cast votes, like illegal immigrants, like felons, whatever the case may be. You want to make sure that it's one person, one vote, and everybody is an eligible voter, because if they are not, what keeps the entire population of China from coming over and electing our president for us? Well, the left challenged this law that Texas had and said it was discriminatory towards low-income minorities, specifically African Americans and Hispanics. I find that baffling, because there is not anything you can do in this country, in this state, being the great state of Texas, without an ID. If you work and get a paycheck, you have to have an ID to either open up a checking account or to go cash your check somewhere. They have to know it's you. If you do not work and you have the entitlements, we need to have a discussion after the show, but you still have to show some ID somewhere along the way, food stamps, whatever. So what happens without an ID? Absolutely nothing. This had nothing to do with it being discriminatory. And I'm not a big conspiracy theory guy, but I like to connect dots. So there's dot one. The liberals do not want a voter ID law. Why? Because what they're saying doesn't make sense. Well, we found out in June some hackers that the FBI believes are either Russian or Turkish, whatever, hacked into the Arizona and Illinois state database that held voter records, name, address, phone number, driver's license, whatever. Now, they did this through what they call a SQL injection attack. And all that is SQL is the language in which you run a database, right? If you have a SQL database, then you use the SQL code to pull those records, to pull the data, to mine the data the way you want to. It's something query language, and I forget what the S is for, but that's what SQL stands for. And so when you have a database behind a web page, you can if you're shady character, use one of these SQL injection attacks where it's, you go to these forms on the internet, name, address, phone number, you can put in a special code and it will begin giving you the information somehow. Now, that's all I know about it. I can't go any further than that. That's what a SQL injection attack is. It's going through the front end of the website with special code and being able to pull everything out of the database. That's what these hackers did. They went into at least Arizona and Illinois' website for their voter registration, and they were able to pull at least 200,000 voting records from Illinois alone. Now, why does this upset the left? First off, who cares if they have name, address, phone number, so on and so forth? Yeah, you could be concerned about identity theft, but there are so many preventions in place and guarantees on cards now. If you're not positioned to protect yourself against identity theft, then shame on you. It's as important as life insurance, I think. But, and I'm not paid to say that, by the way, but the left is upset because this is how they do it. I listened to a local talk show here in town on the drive time home on KLIF, the station we're on Saturday nights. And the guy's name's Grant Stinchfield, that is the host of the show. And a lady called into Grant's show. She said, hey, this whole voter ID thing, it's needed because I went to my local precinct with my driver's license to vote last midterm election. And when I got to the front of the line, they said, you've already voted. She's like, no, I haven't. I'm standing right here and I haven't voted today. No, you voted today. Here's my driver's license. I have not voted today. And they would not let her vote. Somebody, either by accident or on purpose, cast a vote in her name. Now, how many times do we hear about dead people voting and ineligible people voting, so on and so forth? So the left is not upset that these people's information is out there. They don't care about these people. Voters are not on their list of hierarchy, their hierarchy of victims. Now, each of the members that are on there, each of the classes, they do vote, but the group voters isn't on there, so they don't care. They care because this is one of the ways they planned on winning this presidential election. And it's crazy because in an op-ed piece published on Breitbart last week, John Banshaf, who is a George Washington University public interest law professor, he warned everybody about the vulnerability of the voting system to hackers, including those who could be in the pay of a foreign government. He was telling us, look, Hillary Clinton can get your stuff. It's too susceptible. Now, here's the deal with these SQL injection attacks, and this is why I spent some time on it. I worked at an IT firm that developed software, that developed websites and the software behind it. My guys were really good at countering hackers because we had social security numbers stored. And there were a lot of SQL injection attacks. And it got to the point where my guys were so good that when somebody did that to one of our websites, they would give them something, but not what the hacker wanted. And it would come back, and when they'd open it up, it'd be a picture of somebody flipping them off or a little message for them or something. They played with the hackers because they were that good. Now, these guys that worked for me weren't anybody special. They were just really good at what they did. It's not like they were going into the Hall of Fame of IT. It just takes somebody with a little bit of common sense and understanding of what's going on to keep this protected. But here we go again. The government doesn't get the best and brightest. A SQL injection attack should never be successful. They can happen all day, every day, but they should never be successful if you have people doing what they're supposed to do on the front end. But with all that said, the Democrats are furious because now they got to come up with a new way to steal the election, and they don't know how to do it. Now Hillary Clinton has to win it outright on her own merits, and we all know that is a tall task in and of itself. That is a huge task. To convince the majority of Americans that Hillary Clinton should lead the free world? Are you kidding me? Nobody with half a brain would do that. But who am I? What do I know about that stuff? Apparently the left has it all figured out, and I'm a racist and a bigot, and Hillary Clinton is the savior of the world. Speaking of the world, ICANN is real, and Barack Obama wants to give away the internet to him. Next.
The Gavin Mitchell Show.
Are you getting squeezed by the economic downturn? Hey, you were doing fine. Then, all of a sudden, you're having a tough time paying your family's credit card bills. Maybe you were downsized or even lost a job, but you still owe 10 grand or more in credit card bills. And you just can't afford the minimum payments anymore. We're here to help. We are the Genesis Debt Partners. We know the secrets to negotiate better terms with your creditors. Make a free 10-minute call right now and learn how we can help you get out of debt. 800-807-9767. If you owe 10 grand or more in credit card debt and you want to learn how you can pay less and get out of debt faster, call right now. 800-807-9767. 800-807-9767. Get out of debt now. 800-807-9767.
Hey everybody, your pal Gavin Mitchell here from my friends at Texas Elite Landscape. We all have that embarrassing spot in our yard we just can't seem to get grass to grow. Or perhaps you're tired of pumping hundreds and thousands of dollars into your yard just to get it to turn green when the weather warms up. Or maybe the constant maintenance is just too much to bear. Well, my friends at Texas Elite Landscaping are the most respected synthetic grass installation specialist in North Texas. Locally owned and operated, they have installed over 1 million square feet of the highest quality grass made right here in the USA. And I know what you're thinking. Is it pet and child friendly? You bet it is. So whether you want your yard looking picture perfect year round, no matter what the season is, or perhaps you'd like a putting green in the backyard to keep your husband home on Saturdays, give my friends at Texas Elite Landscaping a call today. 214-298-7726. That's 214-298-7726. Or find them at TexasEliteLandscaping.com.
Is debt beating you down? You need discipline. You need the Debt Ninja. If you've been caught in a financial trap and need to be set free, then you need the Debt Ninja. Want to stop those harassing collection calls, start saving thousands in interest and fees, and get out of debt fast? Then you need to call the Debt Ninja. The Debt Ninja will find the best companies across the country that will help you consolidate all your bills into one easy payment, reduce your payments by 30 to 50%, and get you out of debt fast. If you have unsecured debt of $10,000 or more, such as credit cards, loans, or medical bills, call the Debt Ninja for a free 15-minute consultation.
Call 800-824-3301. 800-824-3301. That's 800-824-3301. Call today.
The Debt Ninja.
Boy, man, I had a rough night's sleep. I got a letter from the IRS yesterday, and I just couldn't sleep. Man, I'm dying here. Somebody help me.
IRS problems affect more than just your finances. If you're ready to take back control of your life and you owe more than $10,000, you need to call the tax doctor. Their expert staff can immediately protect you from the IRS and state collectors and get you the best possible tax settlement guaranteed. The IRS has recently released new programs geared in helping struggling taxpayers, where you may qualify to settle your tax debt and wipe out up to 85% or more of what you currently owe. If you owe $10,000 or more in back taxes, call the tax doctor right now. See if you qualify to pay less. 800-631-9123. 800-631-9123. 800-631-9123. Again, 800-631-9123.
Hey, liberals, try rooting for your own country for a change. Our blue-collar educator of all things common sense does. Now, back to the Gavin Mitchell Show.
If you are looking for the program throughout the week, you can find us each and every weekday on our flagship station, Red Nation Rising Radio. That's rednationrising.us, powered by conservativeradionetwork.com. You can find us on KLRN, the 405 Media, High Plains Radio, Sackheads Radio, Streaming Talk Radio, and IPBN-FM.com. We can find us on demand, iTunes, Spreaker, TuneIn, and Google Play. And then at least for the next couple of Saturday nights, because I believe August, we are making a switch. At the end of August, we're going to leave News and Information 570 KLIF, which is at 8 p.m. Central Time each and every Saturday night. And we are going to move to a station, a terrestrial station, in South Georgia, Northern Florida area for a 2-hour show in the middle of the day Saturday. So we're trading 1 hour for 2 is what it comes down to. There are some business aspects involved. None of that matters. What matters is you'll still be able to get it on Red Nation Rising Radio. You should be able to get it on a couple other outlets, and I promise you it will be available on our Spreaker channel. And again, you will have the opportunity to call in. But just a few more weekends left with KLIF, and it has been such an honor and a pleasure to be a part of that family, to work alongside of those guys. And it is my dream to one day return to the Cumulus shop in Dallas to be a part of the Monday through Friday team. There are two pinnacles in my world, and that is one of them, to work for the great Tyler Cox in the WBAP or the KLIF seat for a Monday through Friday show. So fingers crossed that the show can continue to grow. I can continue to grow as a host and achieve that. So I want to talk about the internet. We just spoke about the databases being hacked. There is more internet news out there. When you want a website, say you want the GavinMitchellShow.com, there are a couple of companies that offer a service. And what that service does is it goes in and it basically buys you. It gives you the certificate, the deed of ownership, whatever you want to call it, for whatever period of time you buy it for that domain name. Now, they have to be registered and regulated somewhere. And in the United States, it's done under the Commerce Department in the National Telecommunications and Information Administration, NTIA. That's what they do. They register and transfer domain name systems. That's how it works, right? You got to have some regulatory agency, or you could claim the GavinMitchellShow.com. I could claim the GavinMitchellShow.com, and it becomes a big mess. And so that's what this does. Well, as of October 1st, Barack Obama wants to hand this over to what they call ICANN, the Internet Corporation for Assigned Names and Numbers, which is ran by the UN. So the UN would be in charge of who registers what domain name, where, what's allowed, things like that. An important little caveat is that ICANN has been running the internet for the Commerce Department since 1998. All right, so they have a relationship with the Commerce Department. Lawrence Strickling has said that ICANN has met all of its objectives to take things over on October 1st. So October 1st, this happens. Now, what is the result of this? Who cares who the regulatory agency is? I do. Because we've talked a lot about this program, about how there are some slippery slopes out there, and this is one of them. It is sad but true and an undeniable fact that the major and dominating source of information for every individual in the United States is the internet. The paper newspaper, the paper magazine, they're things of the past. Yes, people still get them. A lot of people buy magazines from the local Girl Scout troop to promote them. A lot of people still buy a Sunday paper for the coupons, but in whole, that's not where people get their news. They get it on the internet. Now, China has already outlawed over 20,000 words for the .xyz. We have the .com. China has the .xyz. There are 20,000 words you can't use. We have a First Amendment here that gives us the right to free speech. The UN does not. And if they start regulating what domain names can be registered and which cannot, what's the next step? And it is that fear as to why I'm against this. Well, I'm not the only one against it. 41% of people polled in a Breitbart Gravis poll said that they are completely against this. 14% supported it, which leaves 45%, depending on where the decimals are, that didn't have an opinion because nobody's talking about this story. This is Barack Obama handing over control, trying to skirt the Constitution yet again, moving towards a one world government, and now he is attacking your speech. Now, you can argue Facebook, Twitter, they're censoring, filtering, controlling what goes on the trending wall. You're right, but those are private companies. The internet is a domain. It is a place where we exchange ideas, good, bad, or indifferent. We communicate. And now we have an outside agency, somebody who doesn't respect the First Amendment, controlling what goes on our internet, what we put in before .com. It's a bad, bad sign. And yet another move from this president that proves he hates America.
The Gavin Mitchell Show.
You hear the headlines. You know health insurance is a real mess right now. Premiums have skyrocketed, and in most cases, you're stuck with your plan until open enrollment. But there's a government rule that allows you to qualify for lower health insurance rates if your life has changed. That means if you've changed jobs, if you're having a child, if you're getting married, if you're getting divorced, even if you run a small business or you're self-employed, this law may qualify you to get lower health insurance rates. Call the Health Insurance Hotline today. Learn how this 10-minute call can help you get lower health insurance rates. This is a free service to help consumers learn the laws to help them qualify for lower health insurance rates. So call right now to learn more. 800-926-4501. 800-926-4501. 800-926-4501. 800-926-4501.
Hey folks, Gavin Mitchell here. If you're in the market for a new car or truck, Jerry Chevrolet in Weatherford has been family owned and operated for nearly 50 years, and my family has done business with Jerry for 25 of those. Jerry's proudly built a reputation of working hard to provide their customers with great service and exceptional value. Jerry Chevrolet has hundreds of new trucks in stock, and they are always marked with the absolute lowest price. Come test drive the Chevy Silverado or the Colorado today and get yourself a $25 prepaid Visa gift card for doing it. When you go online at jerrychevytexas.com, Jerry will offer you a $25 prepaid Visa gift card just for stopping in. No purchase necessary. It's as easy as that. If you have a trade-in, Jerry Chevrolet is always looking for quality used cars, and you can go to jerrychevytexas.com today and find out what your vehicle is worth. Find new roads at Jerry Chevrolet in Weatherford and at jerrychevytexas.com. Come out our way and trade your way. Tell them Gavin sent you.
Attention business owners. We know that owning a business means getting things done right now. So if your right now list includes a new building, call the Right Now Company. General Steel. We can design a building for your business quickly and save you thousands of dollars. That's right, thousands. You may think General Steel only builds large projects or that you can't afford General Steel quality. Well, check these prices. How about a 40 by 60 foot building for under $22,000? Or even a 50 by 100 for under $35,000? That's right, a 5,000 square foot building for under $35,000. And these buildings all have General Steel quality. Best of all, you can still order a building and have it delivered in time to build this year. How's that for right now? So if your right now list includes a new building, call the Right Now Company, General Steel.
800-398-8309. 800-398-8309. 800-398-8309. That's 800-398-8309.
Hey everybody, Gavin Mitchell from The Gavin Mitchell Show here. Of course you can find our show every week on our flagship station, News and Information, 570 AM KLIF, but sometimes once a week just isn't enough. I would encourage you to go out to our website, www.thegavinmitchellshow.com, and there you'll find a plethora of information about the show, including archived episodes of our daily podcast. You'll find a blog written by me and other conservative writers, and entertaining videos that are available with the Gavin Mitchell Experience. I would encourage you to follow us on Twitter at The GM Show. We are on Facebook, facebook.com/The Gavin Mitchell Show. And of course, we are on our flagship station for the internet, conservativeradionetwork.com, with the most talented conservative podcasters in the country. So be sure to tune in Saturdays at 8 p.m. right here on News and Information 570 AM KLIF, or through the week at conservativeradionetwork.com or www.thegavinmitchellshow.com.
If you happen to drive by the studios during a commercial break and you see a guy on the roof waving an American flag, that's our blue-collar doctor of common sense. And now here he is, your host, Dr. Gavin Mitchell.
Well, I tried to hold out on today's show as long as I possibly could, hoping we could get some type of indication on what's going on out in Arizona. Why, Gavin, what do you mean? Well, I'm glad you asked. Today is the primary for that Arizona Senate seat that John McCain occupies. And he is being primaried by Dr. Kelly Ward. And last check, it was a pretty close race. Breitbart Gravis, is it Gravis or Gravis? I don't know. But regardless, the Breitbart poll had McCain up 37 to 33%, but with 23% of Republican primary voters still undecided. This is a big deal here because John McCain is the face, or at least one of the faces, for establishment Republicans up on Capitol Hill. I mean, have you seen these movies or these cartoons where somebody climbs the hill and they talk to the council, the old wise men that run the land? John McCain's one of the guys on that council. Him and Mitch McConnell, we can go on, but I'm saying John McCain has been around forever up there. And here comes Kelly Ward, and she's competing. Why? Because people are sick of the status quo. People have had it with being lied to by the Republican Party and the establishment Republicans. And John McCain is an establishment Republican. There's no two ways about it. Now, I am very critical and quite disgusted by Senator John McCain. I applaud the man and the war hero, John McCain, and you've got to be able to parse the job he has done in the Senate from what he is. He is a war hero, and Donald Trump was dead wrong to criticize his service record and his POW status and all of that, because that is admirable. That is heroic. That is a great thing. And so in my world and in my book, John McCain will be a hero for eternity. Let history judge him accordingly there. He is a hero. Now, for his Senate record, yeah, he has left some to be desired. There's no two ways about it. Now, there are a bunch of quotes in this story I'm looking at, but one of them from Dr. Ward says, I'm 100% behind Donald Trump, and not just because he's the Republican nominee. He is the one who won an unbelievable race in that primary. He has ideas that are good for the country. I'm not going to settle for another imperial president. He needs legislative partners to get the job done. I'm very good at policy. That's about putting excellent policy forward. I want to bring that effectiveness to Washington. And that's where she's at. She is talking about being the opposition party to the opposition party. You know what I mean? Because the Republicans are supposed to be an opposition party. But that's not what they are at all anymore. They're status quo. They're part of the problem up on Capitol Hill. Now, we saw this up in Wisconsin for a House seat in Wisconsin, the 1st Congressional District there. where we thought Paul Nehlen had a chance against Paul Ryan, and he got smoked. Paul Ryan he blew him out of the water. A lot of that has to do with the war chest. And these guys that have been up on Capitol Hill, all these favors and all this compromising and all this deal making that they have done after all these years, they get paid back in campaign contributions. And it's not like John McCain has had a lot of contested races. He's been the only guy on the ballot a lot of the time. And so he has a war chest that just has to be busting at the seams. I don't know what Dr. Ward has. She may as well. She may be independently wealthy like Donald Trump and says, look, I'll scratch out a check for whatever I need to. I don't know. I don't know what they've spent. But I know that makes it an uphill battle at the very least. And Paul Ryan proved it. You can be establishment. You can lie to the people. As long as you can outspend them, you can outwin. Donald Trump seems to be bucking that trend. And so, I don't know. I don't know which way this thing goes, to be honest with you. It's a tight race. McCain is ahead, but is that 5-point lead with 23 points still hanging out there, is that enough? I don't know. And that's why we tried to wait as late as we possibly could to get on the air to give you some type of indication, but we just couldn't do it. Now this is going to be big news tomorrow if Ward wins. If Ward loses, you're not going to hear much about it at all. But my favorite line out of this entire article is he doesn't want the contrast of an 80-year-old man standing up next to, and I'm no spring chicken, I'm 47 years old, but a knowledgeable and a high-energy woman and a doctor. He simply doesn't want that contrast, talking about the debates or the lack of debates, things like that. So this poses a question. Is this phenomenon going to continue? Can we translate what happens here to the presidential election and how Arizona will swing? Is it Republican, Democrat, or is it establishment versus outsider? And party affiliation doesn't matter. If Dr. Ward wins, does that mean that the outsiders have momentum? And is Donald Trump the outsider? And Hillary Clinton the establishment? I don't know which way this goes. It deserves some thought, doesn't it? Folks, that's going to do it for today. In the words of the great Ray Wiley Hubbard, on the days I keep my gratitude higher than my expectations, well, I have really good days. I hope you have a great day. For the great Ron Phillips, I am Gavin Mitchell. This has been a Pinnacle Broadcast Holdings production. Until tomorrow, y'all be good.